Hey everybody, it's GoblinX, and welcome back to another Pioneer Masters Early Access Draft. So thanks again to Wizards of the Coast for this Early Access account, but without further ado, let's hop into this brand new Masters set. This is a set full of reprints to get Arena up to date on Pioneer. So it's sort of new, sort of reprints in a way. They're mostly new to Arena. Very cool set, but I'm rambling, and we need to take a pack one, pick one. We've got a Draconic Roar here and an Oath of Liliana. These are both solid little removal spells, and the Oath of Liliana is part of the Planeswalkers bonus sheet, so there are going to be a decent amount of Planeswalkers during the draft, or in the draft format during these first 2 weeks, so you could potentially get a Planeswalker to go with this. Now, it's not going to be like War of the Spark, where there's a Planeswalker in every pack, but your odds are higher than normal to open up a Planeswalker in the rare slot. If you want to try to draft that, get those 2/2 zombies out of it. But I'm going to take the safer pick here. The Draconic Roar, just 2 mana, 3 damage, instant speed, already great. And it's going to be a little more likely you can get a dragon to work with this than a Planeswalker for that extra value. Pick 2 now, there's already a dragon, and I think Swift Warkite has a really good effect. It's a 6 mana 4/4 flyer, and when it enters, you can return a creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the board with haste to get a swing out of it, and then you don't even sack it in the end step, you put it back in your hand to replay it again later. So it's like a big flying Gravedigger, a big creature that picks something up from your grave to play later, but you get a swing out of that creature immediately. Warkite seems pretty awesome, and like a good reason to go Rakdos here. Of course, it's also a dragon to go with Draconic Roar, which is pretty cool. Steam Augury is also kind of sweet. It's like Fact or Fiction kind of thing. Top 5 cards of your library get split up into 2 piles, and you get to put one of those into your hand. It's pretty good. Fall the Hammer is okay, but I would prefer removal where you don't need a creature on board to use it. So we're just going to go for Dargans for now. Pick 3. Alright, nothing to go with our Rakdos Dragons deck here. These flip land cards are always fine. They make it less likely you get mana flooded or mana screwed, so Palaka Predation or a Coom Warrior are decent pickups. Don't know if we take them over these really solid uncommons, though. There's like Catacomb Sifter here, 3 mana for 2/3 and a 1/1. Azorius Charm's a really good piece of interaction, but obviously we're completely off of blue and white right now, so Clear Shot would be more likely to be the pick. In case we get pushed off of black, we could go like Gruul with a Clear Shot. I guess these are awkward enough with our first picks and really not that insanely strong that we can still just take one of these fine Rakdos commons. Bit of a weaker pack here. I'll go for the Predation here. Nice discard spell if you draw it later in the game, or a land in your opening hand. Alright, pick 4. Gearcrafter is the best Rakdos card. 3 mana for a 2/1 and a 1/1 flyer. But there's also Woodland Wanderer. You could spend 4 different colors of mana on this, in which case it's a 4 mana 6/6 Vigilance Trample. Doesn't have any enters effect or anything, it's just a beefy creature. I mean, technically the +1/+1 counters is sort of an enters effect, but it's just whatever stat line it's going to be, it's no additional value anywhere. So it'd be fine, try to push towards Jund. Maybe draft a lot of Guild Gates, start moving for that kind of multicolored deck. But I think Gearcrafter is like a super solid common. It would be pretty easy to stick to what we're doing here. Honestly, not a huge cost to not take a Wanderer. I don't think that's that insane. But maybe we can get some spice here. Maybe we can go for the Wanderer and go for a super multicolored deck, potentially. Yeah, pick 5, we now have a District Guide, so even if we just play Jund, we just play red, green, and black, this is already going to help our mana base. We just grab whatever basic we need, but especially if we start drafting a bunch of Guild Gates, and a lot of the cards that get better the more Guild Gates you play, this is going to be a really, really important card for that deck. So I'm going to take the District Guide, which is good no matter what, and great if we go full-on Guild Gates. And here's a Guild Gate that will help us in Jund, but help us even more if we go super-duper multicolored. With a lot of the cards being reprinted from Return to Ravnica, Gate Crash, and Dragon's Maze, there are a lot of Gates kind of build-arounds in the format. They even reprinted some of the Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance Gate build-arounds to make that archetype even stronger. So you can definitely go for a really multicolored Gate kind of deck here. And if we have a really strong Converge rare, that's already going to be wanting to play a lot of Gates just for mana fixing. Another district guide. It's a really nice start for gates. I like that a lot. It's probably better to take the guides over the gates than just get like one of each if you're lucky. Yeah, looks really good. Sin Collector is also really strong, but that's obviously just for dedicated black-white deck. Some of these older creatures that exile a card from your hand, they don't do the new thing where they exile it until the creature dies. They just straight up exile it. Sin Collector is one of those cards where you just play it, you look at your opponent's hand, you exile an instant or sorcery from their hand forever. Pretty dumb. Pilgrim's Eye is another good card for the 5-color deck. Briefcase might even be okay. I mean, just a treasure token doesn't help fix you that much, but it is a good kind of payoff if you manage to get all 5 colors to just get a full draw 3. And Leaf Crown Dryad's one of the most efficient bestow cards. I like that. Just for the +2/+2, it's already decent. But let's just really have some consistent mana here. I think Pilgrim's Eye is better for trying to do the full 5-color nonsense. For pick 9, there's an Archway Angel that can gain us a bunch of life if we have a bunch of gates. It's probably the weakest of the big uncommon gate payoffs. But if we're heading that direction anyway, none of these other cards are going to be good. Pick 10, Gateway Plaza. It's my least favorite gate. It's one of my least favorite gates. I mean, do I take it over Dimir Guildgate? I don't think I take it over Dimir Guildgate when we have 0 blue cards yet, but the fact that you do have to tap another land and play this tapped means it is very, very slow. It's very, very costly. Even Dark Stealing it might be okay, but I think like double District Guide plus Pilgrim's Eye, we could just be on all lands for our fixing. Maybe not need the Mana Rock. For the top 5, reveal a creature enchantment, put it into your hand, the rest into the grave. The fact that this puts the rest in the grave is actually kind of interesting. I doubt our mana base is going to be so good we can just play an Azorius Charm in our 5-color build, but really not excited about Commune, so we'll take it anyway. All right, another Angel. Now the gates are starting to disappear, which is awkward, but we still get a Briefcase. We're definitely green at the core, because that gives us access to our double District Guide and our Briefcase for fixing. Pack 2, pick 1, great removal spell here. 2 mana for 3 damage to a creature. Perfectly on par, we'll take that. If we manage to get Planeswalkers, then we get extra damage to our opponent as well. Unlikely, but possible. Yeah, I think this is the pick here. Izzet Guildgate is not the best gate. And we are still kind of just Jund at the core, because the gates are all starting to disappear, so we could just be a nice little Jund deck here and not need to do too much gatey stuff. Honestly, mostly Gruul. We Gruul enough to go for Scourge of Valkus? This definitely just immediately stops us from going full 5-color, because we need triple red for it, so it's a hard enough mana cost when you're not playing a ton of different colors. That's really strong. Yeah. We need to draft as many dragons as we can see, but we already have 2 now. Plus Draconic Roar wants us to draft more dragons. I mean, 5 mana, 4/4 flyer, deal 1 damage to a target. That's already fine. If we get more dragons on board, it's going to be really good. Yeah, alright, Jund Dragons. This could be fun. The whole gate thing is not really happening, as I said earlier, but that's fine, because all this fixing that we took to help with the gates deck can also just help with the Jund deck, a 3-color deck here. Currently it just looks like green-red, and we splash the black to get another dragon into our deck, our Swift Warkite. Alright, no dragons in this pack. We've got the Leaf Crown Dryad. This seems pretty fine on our curve because we can play it on 2 or 4, so it's a good way to just preserve our life total a bit. We could also take another Gruul Guildgate. These are going to be pretty high pickups when we have a triple red card, and we're going to draft a lot of green as well. That's kind of it. Gruul Guildgate or Leaf Crown Dryad, really. We're not going to be a good dictate deck. We're playing beefy dragons. Not too much early game. I'll go for the Guildgate here. Somebody else soaked up all the Guildgates later, so We kind of need to take our on-color guild gates pretty highly. I don't think I'd take a Rakdos guild gate over a Wild Slash, though. This is just really nice, efficient removal for our opponent's cheap threats. Pick 5. Akum Warrior is the only on-color card. Could speculate on the guild gate, I guess. This card seems pretty decent, but we're not in white. Yeah, just take the warrior. Pick 6. Briefcase is significantly worse without access to the 5 colors. I'm already kind of interested in trying to cut this one, so I'm not going to draft another. It's between the Gear Crafter and the Brood Monitor. And while Brood Monitor is solid value for 6 mana, I can't imagine we're supposed to take it over the Gear Crafter when we're going to take any dragon that we see. So the dragons are already going to kind of soak up our 5 and 6 mana slots in the deck. I can't end up playing like 4 dragons and a Brood Monitor thing. Read the Bones, Dragon Mantle, these seem pretty bad. Lifebane Zombie is pretty hard to cast, but it is so good against a green or a white deck, because very similar to the Sin Collector, you exile a card from their hand, and they never get the card back, even if the zombie dies. So I will take that. We'll probably have to cut it, but we'll see. No Dargans. We'll take a Zendikar Incarnate, I guess. 4 mana, 4/4 at worst. Then it just keeps getting bigger. Just a Goblin Heel Cutter. Just 4 mana aggro creature. Goblin Heel Cutter again. Dang. Pretty sad we got cut off of the Gates deck here, because obviously we're not super likely to get a ton of dragons, so this kind of Jund dragon path is resulting just a pretty average looking Jund deck. At least we've got 3 removal spells. We got Slash, Roar, and Oath. They're all only going to kill small creatures, though, so that's a little awkward. There's enough Theros cards in the format. Destructive Revelry might be main deckable. I don't think I'm going to do that, though, this early. We have no 2 mana creatures, so we want 2 mana creatures. We don't have a lot of great removal, so we want great removal, and we want dragons. So cheap creatures, dragons, and removal is what we're hoping to find out of the final pack here. And when I say removal, I really mean the black removal spells. If we could get some good black removal off the splash, that'd be great. Because green and red aren't going to have a lot of ways to kill big creatures. We can just deal damage to smaller creatures or fight creatures that are smaller than ours. I'd like 1 or 2, like Dreadbores or something. That's a common. Red and a black, destroy target creature, planeswalker. That would be sweet. Alright, pack 3. What have we got? 0 dragons. We've got the Dreadbore I was looking for. And I think just in order to have some unconditional removal that can kill a really big creature, I'm going to take this over the Clear Shot. Clear Shot's definitely easier for us to cast, but Dreadbore's just going to kill whatever we need it to, so I'll take that here. We could splash in Progenitor Mimic, I guess. I've got double District Guide and a Pilgrim's Eye. This might just be strong enough to splash in, overtaking a Dreadbore. Just need a single blue source. You know what? When in Rome, let's grab a Progenitor Mimic here. Thing's insane. It has to be dealt with immediately, otherwise you just keep making copies of it. You just keep making copies of the best creature on the board. Speaking of things that are insane, Liliana, Heretical Healer. Why? How could this happen to me? The double black card. I can't go double black here. I mean, I have 4 green cards total. What if we're Rakdos? Splash some green? Oh, this is awkward. We're gonna have to play like a Gateway Plaza at this point. I should just take Dreadbore and stick to my Jund nonsense, but how can I resist that? Come on. Liliana's sick. If any of your non-Liliana creatures die, you make a 2/2 zombie and flip your Liliana. That's so wild. Seed Guardian, Leaf Crown Dryad. The Darksteel Ingot's starting to look real appealing. Okay, I still need to play the district guides. Probably cut the Incarnate. This is a bad pile. This is a bad pile of cards. Come on in, Darksteel Ingot. This is the life I live. No 2-mana or less creatures. We're trying to have Draconic Roar, Oath of Chandra, and Wild Slash keep us covered those first couple turns. This pack is bad with a capital B. There are only blue and white spells, really. I guess we're so splashy at this point that just the treasure token off of a Scarab Engrave could be genuinely valuable. White Source is still useless. If this were almost any other Guildgate, it would be useful to us. Okay, Izzet Guildgate is useful. There's no dragons in this pack. There's a Voyaging Satyr if we go deeper green. That gives us more ramp. We do have Insane top end. Yeah. We are just gruel splashing double black cards. How do we hit 2 black sources is the big question. Salvo or Dryad. Salvo's just another damage-based removal spell, so it does 4 instead of 3 like these two, but it still can't kill really big creatures like a Dreadbore or something. Probably take Dreadbore over it, but I will take Dryad over it to get more cheap little blockers here. Devour Flesh could kill something big, but only if it's the only creature on our opponent's board, so is pretty narrow. 4-mana 4/4 flyer? Skyrider Elf? Pretty hard to cast. Might be on salvo over that. You know what? I could take another briefcase. Actually end up putting the briefcases back in because our mana is so bad. Leaf Crown Dryad. Stab Wound. Got the Dreadbore all the way back around. Okay, that is actually fantastic. It's in the same pack as the Pilgrim's Eye, which would be helpful fixing. But I have been wanting that Dreadbore for a while. All right. Let's build this absolute pile of just hot nonsense here. Got the Devour Flesh last pick. Might be interesting to run. Okay. I guess I'll put it in for a second and see what this deck looks like. Okay. Mad mana base, though. Alright. I definitely need the one of Island so I can grab it off of District Guides and Pilgrim's Eye. So I agree with that. The Ingots and the Gateway Plaza could crack the briefcases for the draw 3. So I think we keep the briefcases as well. Not super high on the Stab Wound here. I've got all the red cheap removal and then the Dreadbore and Devour Flesh trying to get the bigger creatures. Yeah, we're certainly not aggro, so the Heel Cutters, the Zendikar Incarnate aren't really where it's at. We're just going to slam a big dork in the late game. Rather than these slightly earlier aggro threats. Drop one of the Leaf Crown Dryads, I guess. I do have a Predation and an Akum Warrior. So those are 2 more lands when I need them. So I can cut a land here instead. Drop. Probably a black source. So 7 green sources. 7 red sources. 6 black sources. 7 green, 7 red, 6 black. 7 green, 7 red, 6 black. Probably what we're doing. Yeah. All right. Funky deck. We'll see how well the mana works out for us. If we draw the right mana, we have explosive top end here. So it could cheese out some wins. We have some interaction to stop our opponent from doing anything too insane if we've drawn our removal spells. I have no idea how this deck is going to do, but I'm not super confident in it. But we'll see. Maybe we can get some absolute blowouts with some Progenitor Mimics and Scourge of Valkuses and stuff like that. See how it all plays out for us as we head into the gameplay. Alright, here we are on the draw for game 1. I'm keeping a triple red card in this hand without the ability to cast it, but the rest of the hand looks pretty good. We can Devour Flesh, like their first creature. How does Liliana work? Their non-token creature you control dies. Okay, interesting. Okay, actually, don't think I'm going to Devour this Dryad, because I could craft her next turn. Then I've got a 2-1 to trade into the Dryad and a 1-1 to chump something else later. Fell Stinger. Sure, sack their 2-2, draw 2. I've got the 2-1 to trade into the 3-2 now. Yeah, we're good to not Devour Flesh here. We've got the Gearcrafter on the trade. We've got a Woodland Wanderer potentially coming up. That's going to be the full 6/6 Vigilance Trample next turn. So that's going to be pretty fun. I've got the 2 red sources now. 2 out of 3 for Scourge of Valkus. We do ideally want them to play like a 1 toughness creature to shoot, but it's still pretty scary if they don't. Oh, you know what I can do? I could shoot my own 1/1 with the Scourge if I get Liliana on board before I play Scourge. Clear shot. Alright. That's cute. But it's still a 1-for-1. They just trade the clear shot into the Gear Crafter, so I think that's still a solid trade in my favor. And here's Woodland Wanderer. Let's go white mana. Autopay. 6/6 Vigilance Trample. Could have devoured the Stinger to try and get the Death Toucher out of there. Oh. Then it would leave it untapped anyway. Oh, because they have double Death Toucher? Wow. Just flip a Liliana, right? Flip a Liliana, each player discards a card. Feels pretty good. Liliana's at 5 loyalty if we do that. And I'm holding up a Devour Flesh? Yeah, that's kind of legit. Well, I am happy I didn't go for the Devour Flesh earlier, because then they just play another Death Toucher anyway here. I guess I have the Scourge to kill it, but I need to draw another red source first, so I'd have to Pilgrim's Eye for the red source this turn, and then play Scourge next turn to try to break through that one. Alright, flip a Liliana. Obviously the 2/2 zombie holds back the Fell Stinger. She's going to be at 5 loyalty as well. Feels huge.
I require servants. Your corpse will volunteer. Ooh, time to wake up and smell the decay.
Okay, they also discard a land. Brine-born Cutthroat. Sure. 3 cards in their hand. Scourge of Valkus, again, needs the red source, but if we hit it, it now has the Cutthroat as a card it can kill, which is pretty sweet. If they don't kill Liliana, we can -3, get the Gearcrafter back. Getting the Wanderer back's pretty bad, because it's not going to be converged at all. It's not going to have any counters on it. Okay, this looks fine. Liliana's at 3.
So that's how it is.
Fell Stinger. Sack Cutthroat, draw 2. Yep. I can go ahead and just kill the Stinger here. Get our red source. And I've got the land to discard, so we will plus.
My packs give me strength.
There was a chance there based on our draw that we just wouldn't have something to discard to Liliana, and we'd just sit for a second. Oof. Opal Lake Gatekeepers get the draw card and a 2/4 body. Ooh. These creatures are not good for Progenitor Mimic. Progenitor Mimic a Gearcrafter, I guess. That would be funny. I gotta just play Scourge now, and then if it sticks around, I can Progenitor Mimic it. Because Scourge Progenitor Mimic is actually insane. Okay, Pilgrim's Eye. They've got 3 mana up for potential removal. They get an island. Play a Guildgate. Still just 3 mana up. Do I get to Progenity? We get to Progenity! We get, oh my god, this is so dumb. Okay, I get to do 2 there and 2 there, or I could have done 4 to the Gatekeepers. Oh my god. Just keep doing that every upkeep. Sure, you discard a land, I'll discard the Dryad.
No way.
Don't got the mana to toy around with it anyway. Pulse of Marasa. Turn a creature or land from graveyard to its owner's hand, gain 6. Is that just the scoop, basically? Put the Dryad back in her hand. They got the Nervous Oko emote. I think they're pretty much on the concession. Scourge of Valkus Progenitor Mimic. They did not have the removal for. There's a little fire Scourge of Valkus emote. Yeah. Liliana, Scourge of Valkus Progenitor Mimic is pretty filthy, but the Scourge Progenitor Mimic combo probably the funniest thing there. If they don't have the removal for that, then just every turn triggering it. Next turn, another one hits the board and I deal 3 to 3 targets. Oh, that's so cool. Well, pretty insane game there to start us off. We just got some pretty good luck with our opponent not having the removal, and we are 1-0 heading into game 2. Here we are for game 2. We got the Lifebane Zombie and the Liliana. There is a risk to this hand, because we're only on 2 lands. But we're on the draw here. We just need to hit a land by turn 3. We do need it to be a black source, so the greatest odds in the world. But our Halo Scarab helps us out a lot. Creatures we control enter tapped. That is really rude in a Boros deck. We cannot just play a blocker. They're just going to hit the board tapped. Any green source is beautiful, any black source is beautiful. So we actually do have a lot of really good draws. Because every black and green source is perfect. There's the Heliod's Pilgrim from our opponent, grabbing Sage's Reverie. Okay, that is a horrible draw. They draw a card for each aura attached to the creature and gets +1/+1 for each aura. Sure. Well, 2 for 2 on missed lands in our draw steps here. I still think this was a reasonable keep on the draw, because again, green source is wonderful and any black source is wonderful. And we have the Scarab for the treasure token to cast the guide, maybe. It's not like a guaranteed good keep. It's definitely a risky one, but I think that there is an argument to keep it. And I obviously went for that. Phalanx Leader. Okay, that is so bad for me. Any combat trick on the Phalanx Leader is going to get wild. This Devour Flesh is literally just going to kill a Heliod's Pilgrim, but it is never going to get any better. Because that Pilgrim's not just going to randomly die at some point. There's the Archon we don't have any removal for. And you got us. Well. Yeah. Obviously it was like a risky keep, but drawing a 0 lands up to this point means even if I'm just like a 2-color deck with a really good consistent mana base, we just lose. we missed 4 land drops in a row. So it doesn't really matter at this point. Yeah, I mean, I can District Guide now, but yeah, we're dead. To the flyer. We don't even get blockers. Just need an untapped black source. Sure. And that's dead on board. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess not. They have to cast 1 heroic spell, but then we're dead. No matter what that heroic spell is. Anything that targets Phalanx Leader, putting a counter on on all 3 of their creatures is lethal. Surprisingly, no aura, no combat trick in hand. Sure, double removal, might as well. Alright, yeah, we're so dead. 1-1, heading into game 3. Alright, here we go. We got that early Wild Slash. We have a Voyaging Satyr to ramp us up, and a District Guide to fix our mana for whatever nonsense we want to be doing here. I like this hand a lot. Jund from our opponent. The mirror match. There's the Undead Butler. Mill them. Oh my god, a Lotleth Troll and a Nyx Weaver. Pretty spooky stuff. Let's District Guide into a gate, shall we? Play a tap land this turn. I've got double black already. I technically don't have blue mana yet. Maybe I need to just take an island. Maybe it's Gateway Plaza. Could be blue or white. I'm just gonna get a tap land and play it this turn. Like, I'm trying to craft a way that maybe we could get 5 colors for Briefcase. Gateway Plaza would let us do that, but then we don't play Gateway Plaza this turn. We have to play it next turn and soak up some more mana there. But then I can do white, Satyr untapped, blue, and then black, red, green. Potentially, but I wouldn't have this Gruul Gate, so I still wouldn't have 5 color. Yeah, I think I just get a tap land that turn. So I can go mana efficient this time around. Sure, put whatever like big spooky thing you want in your hand. I'll have Devour Flesh up if I need it. Looks like I don't. Probably still better to hold it up than cast a Briefcase or a Dryad here. Because I'm holding up Devour Flesh or Wild Slash. Thanks to our Voyaging Satyr. Okay, there's a tap land from our opponent. Gurmag Angler. Alright. Well, now that they have no creatures in grave, we can slash the Butler and then devour the Angler when they pass. Delicious giant zombie fish. They do get to gain a bunch of life off that, which is rude. If I top deck the Gateway Plaza, I could crack the Briefcase. The Ingot would get me close, but not quite there. Seed Guardian. Okay, that card gets better the more is in their grave. It completely stops all of our attacks. Alright. Akum Warrior it is. So this dies into an elemental, equal to the number of creatures in grave. So it's already a 3/4 that replaces itself with a 2/2 when it dies. It's already pretty good. There's the Dreadbore for the warrior. Another Angler. Yikes. That is large. Here's our Dreadbore. Yeah. Seems like a thing we gotta do. Now a 4/4 attacking into a 3/4. Okay. Not a good draw, but what you gonna do? Sure. Keep my 2/2. I don't remember if I have any discard a card, draw a card. I don't think I do. But I could just be forgetting. I can use the Briefcase to destroy the Briefcase. If I hit one more source, an Ingot, an Island, or a Gateway Plaza. Undead Butler. We got some win conditions here. Our Scourge of Valkus is enough. Liliana's probably enough. Progenitor Mimic's definitely enough. Progenitor Mimic, their Seed Guardian. Scavenge up the Butler. Seems decent. Well, it doesn't do anything as land, so might as well look at their land in hand. Yep. Oh, there. Now we get a Seed Guardian every turn. Sick. Tap land out of the way. There's the concession. Progenitor Mimic will just do that in limited. I'm pretty glad that I speculated towards that, because it seems so worth the blue splash. That is our second victory. Very much in part to that Progenitor Mimic. Alright, here we are for game number 4. This is definitely a keep. It does not have as many colors as I would like with the Woodland Wanderer in the hand, but I could briefcase into the Wanderer. And it's got really good mana for what's in the hand. 1 mana, 1/1 lifelink. Hello. Okay, Gateway Plaza certainly helps. That's land 3 out of 4 required in this hand. We might cast a Predation. It's going to be awkward if we don't draw any more lands, so we don't end up casting Predation. And we do play it as land, because then I didn't get the tap land out of the way on the perfect turn to get a tap land out of the way. But we'll see how it plays out. Mentor of the Meek. We need to kill the heck out of that, and we can't. We could kill their 1/1. Alright, I guess I get to Predation them and then cast a 6/6 next turn. So let's see if they have anything that works particularly good with Mentor of the Meek. Oh my god. Well, they don't have a blue source in hand for this Dragon Lord. They can play a Gnarlback Rhino next turn. They could play a Ghostblade Eidolon and draw a card off of it as well. They're all not great for me. I think I have to let them keep the Dragon Lord, which is rough, because then if they ever hit the mana for it, we super die. I'm gonna get rid of the Eidolon. I'm just gonna let them play the Rhino thing. Okay. Cool. Here's the Wanderer. And then just slap a Leaf Crown Dryad on it and hope they never hit blue. I took the Eidolon because the Eidolon, while it is smaller than Gnarlback Rhino, is going to draw them a card towards the blue source. Which just seems too threatening. What on earth is this? I do not know the format well enough here. Well, let's just figure it out. We will know for the future when we're not playing with Wizards of the Coast's Monopoly Bucks. Oh, is this the clear shot? 2 for 1? Call the ambush. Ooh, 3 for 1. Well, they draw a card off Rhino, so it's still just a 2 for 1. Yeah, that's fine. It's a fine position for us. Feels worth it. Guildgate. Briefcase. Holding up a Devour Flesh. And I can Warkite next turn. There is nothing for the Warkite, so it's just a 4/4. I mean, I guess I can haste out the Dryad, that's something. Oh, there's the Ingot for the Briefcase. Sure, yeah, Warkite, I get to get a haste swing in with the Dryad and then just put it back in my hand anyway. Nessian Asp, that is large. That is large, large. There's Ingot, here's Briefcase Wooburg. Do I go for Briefcase Wooburg or just hit this turn? I probably still have to hit. They can Monstrous the Asp next turn, but in order to not take the 6, they have to not attack with it. Yep. Okay, red, green, black, white, blue. Let's get the draw 3. Wild slash, so I can slash then devour here. That feels good. Oh, I don't have the black mana for devour up right now, so I have to pass. Well, they drew something. They're thinking a lot here. Really hope it is not a creature to get around our Devour Flesh. Okay, it's some kind of spell, probably. Here's the Wild Slash. Cool. And then here's the Devour Flesh. They gain a lot of life, but then the Asp is out of the way for everyone else. Okay. Sure. Might as well bestow this. Not even a point in like holding it back to play around a board wipe, because if they board wipe, we get to keep the 2/2s. Oh, is it the return a creature, gain 6? Yeah, that's pretty good. Get the Asp back. They don't have the mana to cast and upgrade the Asp, but there's the blue source. It wasn't even a gate or anything. It's the untapped blue source for the Dragon Lord. That is not good. When it deals combat damage to a player, at the top 3 cards of your library, put one into your hand, the rest on the bottom. So I have to stop attacking. Yeah, I just have to stop attacking. I can't let that hit me once. Yep. Pass it is. Luckily, even if they kill Warkite, we have the blockers to double block Ojutai, because I'll have a 3/3 reach and a 2/2 reach. Okay. 2 blue sources in a row, that's pretty funny. Draconic Roar. 3 to them, and 3 to one of their creatures. Because I control a dragon. Okay, that doesn't actually work against this absolute beef, though. So we're still passing. Like, I can't target Ojutai at all. And that's 9 toughness. Sure. We're at 7. Evolving Wilds is the draw. 3 blue sources in a row. They needed the blue for Ojutai for so long, and then 3 ways to get the blue in a row are the draws. That's so funny. Oh, this would have been so good earlier. We could have exiled Dragon Lord Ojutai from their hand. I guess we're both getting comical draws then. They are not going to hold on to any green or white creatures in hand, so we'll just get our 3-power unblockable threat onto the board. Pilgrim's Eye for yet another way. 4 turns in a row they drew away to get their blue source. That's that's brutal. It blocks our Lifebane zombies. That is still kind of awkward for me. So we just killed it, so Lifebane Zombie gets in. Some awkward draws all around here. I will scare them by holding on to one card in hand. No one knows what it could be. Oof! Hexproof Indestructible? Gross. Okay, I can block that with a 6/6 every turn though, so doesn't matter too much on blocks. There's a lot on attacks. Oh boy. Hello? I don't really see any chump attacks with Liliana being that impressive. Yeah, I just poke with the zombie and play the Liliana. She gives me another chump. That is certainly impressive. So I block with the 3/3, get the 2/2 zombie. Got that reanimation for another thing. Ooh, no. Okay, that only triggers when Goreclaw attacks. But if we don't draw removal immediately, Goreclaw wins. Their whole board is trample now. Not until Goreclaw attacks, but when Goreclaw attacks. We die. No attacks. Top deck a land and we're dead to Goreclaw. $15 plus 5, 20 plus 5, 25. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 toughness. Yeah, just Goreclaw wins. It was the wrong time to hit the lands. There's no way to force a block here, even if I attack with these two. They just go to 1 and then crack back, kill me. I can force them to block with somebody so Liliana flips, but a flip to Liliana with no blockers up is not going to do anything. Yeah, no. Ah, so close. The Goreclaw lethal gets me. All right, here we are for game 5. We are 2-2. We got the 3 different colored lands in hand, which is a great start mana-wise. Let's get this predation out of the way immediately. I think it's predation and then Guildgate, then Guide. I guess I should have done it Guildgate, then predation, then Guide, because then I'm holding up Wild Slash this turn. Yeah, I got punished for that. We would have 100% slashed that and then played Guide this turn, but now we just slash and pass. I'm going to save this for the bestow. Plenty of creatures to slap it onto. Guildgate Mirror Match, there's the Pilgrim's Eye for great fixing, and certainly not worth shooting that. I don't actually think we're on Gateway Plaza here. So I once again played my mana wrong. We should have had a red up by just playing an untapped land for turn. Although I already cast Wild Slash, so I guess it doesn't really matter this time. Uh-oh. Oop. Knocked my water bottle over. They've got a man land here that can attack as a 4/1 anytime it's not blocked. That is a lot of damage off of just a land. Well, there's the briefcase to reward us for finding all of our colors. Do still need to get one more mana source, though, to use it. 4 mana up right now. I think I just need to kill this heel cutter, because it stops me from blocking. Oh, yeah, I already played Gateway Plaza as the land for turn. I don't get the briefcase, too. Gore Clan Rampager, 4/4 trample. Pretty solid. 4/4 hexproof trample. Can't be blocked by more than one creature. Welcome back, hexproof. Well, here's a 4/5 against the 4/4, so now they need removal. What does Elk do? Oh, their board just gets trample. Sure. Ooh. 4 mana 6/6 is solid. Play the briefcase and that. In theory, our 4/5 keeps the 4/4 off of us, our 6/6 keeps the 5/5 off of us, and we are chilling until we find a way to crack our briefcase. Falling Ambush, fight the 4/5. That's all. The Harpooner as well. Need 9 power and toughness to kill this if I slap this. They need, actually I make this a 10/10. I don't quite have the mana to do what I want to do, which is to put both of these on the Wanderer. Unless I crack the briefcase, which I think is not worth it. But just putting one, I'm going to start taking 0 damage a turn, and then I put the next one on next turn, and then they just don't have good blocks either. They'd have to block with a 4/4, 5/5, and 1/1. They would only have a 3/2 left, and I still get to keep all of the Dryads in that exchange. Okay, there's nothing in grave or hand for the Warkite right now, so let's just get the Wanderer wandering right into their face. Let's go. We have the meats. Oh, I forgot about the Fumarole. Okay, they actually have decent blocks then, but I still kill a bunch of their board. Gosh darn Fumalonga Ding Dong. It's not horrible for me. I get to kill all 3 of those. Still have all my 2/2 reaches, so they can't attack with Pilgrim's Eye. Yeah, we still end up with a winning board state here. This is fine. No, they have a 10/10? Never mind. We can monstrous that thing and make it a 10/10 pretty easy. Oh, there's the Pilgrim's Eye for that briefcase mana. Love to see that. Let's go. Ooh, Progenitor Mimic. The absolute finisher has arrived. We thought a 10/10 was good. How about a 10/10 every turn? Right. The Rampager's a massive problem right now. Because I can only single block it. Yeah, well, I gotta take that 4 then. Glad we got rid of the thing that gives trample. Hello. All the goodies. All the goodies. I'm probably just supposed to play Progenitor Mimic right now. But I could look at their hand and play Liliana here. Oh, no. Wait, yeah, I can because I've got the Swamp. I've got 4 black mana. Yeah, let's look at their hand and play Lily. Land. That was pretty likely. Okay, still get an unblockable 3-1. Oh, I could actually play Progenitor Mimic and Zombie instead. Yeah, we know they don't have removal in hand. Yeah, just do it. Just go for it. Got the reach creatures. Actually, I got the 1/1s for the Pilgrim's Eye. Throw this under the Nemesis Immortals bus. I got the 5/5 for the 4/4. We know they don't have removal in hand. Throw the Gear Crafter under the bus then. Yeah, we'll do that. Whew. Gatebreaker's pretty big. Not gonna be great at breaking through a bunch of 10/10s, but not a horrific draw. We know they have no cards in hand. Yeah, we can eat that. Progenitor Mimic it up. See how much this costs. Oh my god, I can do that and play Liliana? Sure. Still got the reach blockers here, and if one of these dies, the Pilgrim's Eye's out of the way, so Lifebane Zombie's unblockable, and Liliana flips. Ten, 10 for 10 Liliana flips. Ooh, top deck's a first strike trick. That certainly works. Oh, Liliana only flips during our turn? Oh, when non-tokens die. I see. Well, Warkite is still pretty good here. Still would rather not trade Lifebane Zombie into Pilgrim's Eye. Getting really close to an all-attack lethal, but not quite there, I think. So you can block that and that, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But they were at 10 before I declared the attack, so we could have put them to, like, 1. Maybe I didn't do the math. Maybe Liliana actually adds to that to make it lethal, and I did not add her, so I was just thinking of her as a planeswalker. Probably was lethal, but it's definitely lethal now. So you go block, block, block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is definitely lethal. All right, and that is going to be 3 and 2 here. That was about an hour of drafting, and I got a ton more drafts to record. And not too much more time within this early access event. So we are going to stop it there. I'll probably cap all these drafts off at 5 games maximum so that we can get a draft out to you all every day until the release of the set on Tuesday. Just make sure I can record like 6 drafts today by making them a little bit shorter drafts. So 3 and 2, might have been able to get more wins. Probably would have just went 3 and 3. The mana base here is very, very concerning, and I think that was the big issue with our first loss. Our second loss, we just got into a top deck war. We lost the top deck war by a little bit. But overall, this was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Pretty high overperformer of a deck. Like, tried to go for the Gates deck, did not really get there, just ended up with Jund splashing in an incredibly powerful Progenitor Mimic, and it still played pretty great. So I think the District Guide, super high pick for me. Pilgrim's Eye, also pretty good. These were really, really good cards here, where it was like when we were thinking about doing a full 5-color Gates deck, they were going to be incredibly premium there, but they still played well in just this mush pile. Like, even not making it all the way to Gates, just opening up a really powerful card to splash in, still made the deck pretty strong. The really efficient removal was absolutely necessary. All these cheap little burn spells, really necessary to help survive towards maybe getting these bombs out. But yeah, really fun deck. Played better than I thought it would. I am not playing anymore, so just let me leave, even though it's not a correct deck. There we go. 3 and 2, very, very solid run with a super fun deck this time around. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.